Good morning. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. We're in week 4 of our skincare class. And this is brought to you from a different space because we are in the middle of our move. So I wanted to make sure that this summer of skincare class was absolutely held. So here I am from this room, and it's probably the last time that I will go live from this house here. We're just moving across town. So just give it a moment as people are coming on. And today I'm going to be talking about acne, breakouts, problem skin. But I thought I would talk a little bit about sunscreen first. I don't get that many breakouts. I've gone through periods of time where I have, but I have experienced personally some cystic acne in my early 30s around some hormones. I've also had little kinds of bumps and things on my skin, but I haven't had continuous acne unless it's maybe around my hormones. But I wanted to break this down into a couple different sections. But I do get breakouts actually when I use sunscreen, which is why I wanted to tie those two together. So I think while people are popping up, I'm going to just share. I put a picture up that is explaining everything that I'm about to share with you here about sunscreen. So I think we'll start there while people are popping on. So there are two kinds of sunscreen in the world. There's chemical sunscreen and there's physical sunscreen. Physical sunscreen is the one you want to have. Physical sunscreen works. My hair is being crazy, so that's why I keep trying to fix it. Maybe I'll just tie it back. Physical sunscreen works by actually scattering the UV rays with the help of minerals and more natural ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. These are okay for our skin. They actually work as a block, like a shield. And so the UV scatters away. So we're not actually absorbing chemicals or toxins into our skin. And then there's chemical sunscreen. And let me be clear, chemical sunscreen is not going to say this is chemical sunscreen. So this is for us to investigate, read labels, right? In a lifestyle of a low tox or detox lifestyle, a lifestyle that we're really going after with our bringing in doTERRA into our lives, we start to become wiser as we're shopping and reading labels and understanding the way certain ingredients actually really impact us. So chemicals would be using ingredients that absorb the UV rays on your behalf, but we're also absorbing those rays. I mean, not the rays, the chemicals, right? So oxybenzone, Oxybenzone, and oxynoxide are two, Octino, Xate. Again, these are all written out for you in the group and also on the page here. Those are ingredients specifically that impact hormone levels. But let's take it a step further. If we understand that our hormones are being impacted and going awry, there are later stages of problems that can arise. And if this is, again, not for me to bring in fear, but if our body's out of a balance, that's when dis-ease starts to arise. These ingredients also can really damage coral reefs. Hawaii has actually banned certain sunscreens from coming in because of this. So we really want to get into a practice with our choices of sunscreen. And notice how I'm using the word sunscreen, okay? Because it's a screen, it's not 100% block. SPF 30 is really a good level. Most, not all, but most sunscreens that have SPF above 30 are going to have a lot of chemicals in it. They're going to use the chemical. So you really want to look for things that they will say this is a physical sunscreen. You want to look for that. One that I love is Kula. And thank you to Lydia. She introduced that sunscreen to me. I love it because it doesn't make you so white, like the zinc. It goes right in and feels really smooth. Some of the more physical sunscreens have a lot of zinc in them, and they can be like a shield, and it's also really white, but they've gotten much better at it. Okay. The other thing is to notice that we usually don't put on enough sunscreen. So when we use a higher level, we might think it's enough, but it's not. So do not let a high SPF fool you into getting too much sun. Sunburns can be really quite damaging and traumatizing to our skin, so we want to avoid those as much as we can. Accidents happen, and then we have tools to heal from a sunburn afterwards. Lavender and frankincense and peppermint are really lovely. Spearmint also, which is our buy one, get one today, is really nice. It's a little gentler than the peppermint. Okay, so let's move on to talk about acne. My little moving here, I'm going to try to do something with it with you all here. Let's see if that's going to be better. That's better, yeah. Okay. So let's go and do a little bit of reviewing. With every kind of skincare, we want to what? I wish you were here and you could say it out loud. We want to cleanse, scrub, tone, activate, soothe, and protect, right? So we just talked about the protecting. I've noticed when I use very thick sunscreens, that's often when I will have a breakout. And generally it's because I'm not good at washing my face after the day. So the cleansing is super important when we're talking about breakouts. So step 1, 2, and 3 are really, really important. The cleansing, the scrubbing, and the toning for those of us that do experience breakouts. And we want to make sure, I'm going to just read my notes here. I want to make sure I cover everything for you. When we're cleansing and scrubbing, well, let me say, cleansing, we're going to reduce the bacteria on our skin. This is why, again, we want to wash our face at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, because our pillow has bacteria on it. We maybe drool a little. Maybe you have a pet like me who likes to sit on your pillows. So you still want to cleanse in the morning. Now, the scrubbing is important because we're removing the dead cells. And some of us get acne because we have a thick layer of skin that's blocking the skin from breathing. So the scrubbing is really important, right? So we do that with our invigorating scrub or our reveal system. Those are 2 ways that we can do that with doTERRA. Then we tone. We've got 2 toners as well. One in the Virage system or the Essential Wellness system. I love the Virage one. It's a spray, whereas the Essential is where you would use a cotton ball. Totally, that's your preference. And I really encourage you to try both and see what you like. And we want to do this every morning and evening. Remember to treat the jawline, right? This is a common place where acne will happen, but also the hairline is an important place. The chin, the nose, you know your areas. We talked about that a couple weeks back, where the different areas and zones on the face reflect different organ systems that are being impacted, and it's showing us on our face. So step 4 is treat. Treating our skin involves restoring cellular function through topical use of antimicrobials, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory products. So this is where we're going to step in and look at the oils that we want to use. So we would be treating it. So some options. Now we have different stages, right? So there's the teens. Teen acne can take a bit of a stronger oil, like lemon. Lemon is really great. You want to use it on a Q-tip and just spot treat. But remember, lemon does intensify the sun, so that sunscreen is super important. For those of us that are 20 and above, we're going to look more towards frankincense. My personal favorite, if I do get a breakout, is geranium. Actually, yarrow palm is really beautiful. I have some yarrow palm on my notes. I'll just place it on my face. It's like the best thing ever, right? It's like caviar for our face. Yarrow palm. Also rose. Rose is a really wonderful oil for treating acne. Cypress gets things moving. Cypress is a great oil whenever you feel stagnation. So acne is a form of stagnation. It's a form of pooling, and the skin is trying to push something out, okay? So cypress is a beautiful one to try, or melaleuca, tea tree oil, right? Many of us like to use tea tree oil as our spot treatment. Now, our tea tree oil, hi Rosa, hi Donna. Our tea tree oil, if I don't know if you have experienced it yet, and if you've ever compared it to other tea tree oils, it does not sting or burn. It is so gentle and mild that I actually will apply it direct without any dilution at all to any kind of breakouts. So that's the treating part. You also can step in and use the brightening gel to work with any acne scarring, right? We talked about scarring a little bit. We'll talk about it again, but these are other ways that you could bring in into this step 4, the treating. And also you can put in the anti-aging eye cream if you are at that stage where you're starting to really notice that you need that extra support there. So then step 5. Step 5 is to soothe. So whenever we're working with our face, these are the steps that we want to think about. These are the habits we want to think about. So we're going to soothe and protect with antioxidants and hydrate by restoring the lipid barrier. So this is where we use our moisturizers. So we have our anti-aging moisturizer, our Immortelle hydrating serum. That's what I use most. I go between those two. But we also do have the Virage moisturizer, and then even the HD Clear lotion for someone who's very acne prone. This is a great oil. And most of the time I think of teens, but if there's somebody in your life or you that's had very chronic acne, I always recommend starting with the HD Clear line. It has a lot of power to it, and it's not something I recommend staying on. So you can start on that and start to work your way back towards more natural, 100% natural ingredients. But this is to get you off things like Proactive. Then we're protecting. So then we're going to put our sunscreen on. After all of that, I've gotten questions. Do you put your sunscreen on first and then add all the moisturizings and things? No, you're going to let that all settle in. You're going to look at your face, because I know in the period of my 30s when I went through having acne on my face, it was very difficult. I felt a lot of shame, a lot of emotions. It felt like I was in acupuncture school at the time, and it felt like I'm supposed to be this healthy, vibrant person, and I have all this acne on my face. So I know that there is a lot of emotions stored up in there. So while the pieces of the soothing and the protecting are settling in, you can do some loving, gentle affirmations. You are beautiful. Your skin is healing. I love you. Just talk to yourself. So often when we're unhappy with how we're looking, we will not even look at ourselves in the mirror. So the skincare, while it is very surface, it actually isn't to me. Especially as my 45th birthday is tomorrow, and facing the aging and the changes on our face, there's so much that we hold in our face. There's so much energy and emotions, particularly when we feel shame around having any kind of breakouts in acne. I mean, I remember an event that I was showing up to do within my acupuncture school where I had this really awful acne here on the sides of my face, and I just felt like I couldn't even do it. I did it, but I just felt this. You all know, I think all of us have been there. It's part of being human. If you haven't, wonderful. And then the last category, I would say this last category, nourish, is probably the most important category, especially if you have acne-prone skin, because our skin is talking to us when we have acne. It's telling us that something's going on the inside, right? Our skin is our venting system. When we go through the cleanse and detox, sometimes we'll have some eruptions during that period of time because we're cleansing. Our skin is venting. Our skin is helping us release what we do not want. So number 1 is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Absolutely, I recommend this for our teens. It's probably most important for them. Their brain is still developing, and being a teenager right now, I can't even imagine the difficulties. So giving that solid nutrition is really wonderful. And I have a friend who will literally hold back their teen cell phones till they take their lifelong vitality as a way to make sure they're taking it. So, you know, if you have a child in your life and you're like, they won't take it, get creative. I love this plan of holding the cell phone back and then saying, okay, off you go. And you can do a half dose with that. I would not give teens a full dose all at once. Also the Terrazyme. Terrazyme, I haven't really brought that in yet, just saving it for today. Terrazyme helps us, it's our digestive enzyme, and Terrazyme helps us to digest and process irritating foods for our systems. So what do I mean by irritating foods? I don't necessarily mean things that we are allergic to, right? So there's gluten intolerance, and then there's gluten sensitivity, right? So there's different levels. So if you have gluten sensitivity, but you can have it sometimes, but you notice you have a reaction when you have it, I highly recommend the Terrazyme. Same with dairy. What else does Terrazyme have enzymes for? It does also have enzymes to help break down vegetables. If you are someone that has you find yourself gassy after having vegetables, that's because there's a problem in the digestion system, right? So take your Terrazyme with meals. You can take up to 5 a day, particularly if you have acne-prone skin, this is one for you. I also recommend probiotics. There are many ways we can take our probiotics. I like to recommend taking them at night, but you can also take them in the morning. It's really up to you. You can even take it midday. I like to take it when there's less amount of food in the belly. We also have our deep blue polyphenols. Now the deep blue polyphenols, most of the time we think of the deep blue polyphenol supplement, and we're in the Nourish category for those of you just joining in. Most of us think of that for pain in the body. It has turmeric in it and other incredible antioxidants, but it's really, really important for our skin to have antioxidants. I remember growing up with my grandmother, she knew this, and she would literally, when she was in the kitchen, she would throw on slices of kiwi and all different strawberries on her face while she was cooking to get those antioxidants in her skin. And I have to say, my grandmother had incredible skin. We also can recommend, we don't have it in doTERRA, but we can recommend adding in some collagen. There's collagen in all the stores now, and you can use sea-based collagen, you can use animal-based collagen, and there are now vegetarian options, not the same, but working to try and replace that. So do a little investigating about that. You can add it to your smoothies, and the collagen that we use has completely flavorless, so we like to add it to beverages. And then the most important thing is we recommend having about 80 ounces of water a day for our skin. If you're flushing out and you have a history of acne on your face, highly recommend upping your water and clearing out what other drinks are happening. So if you're a soda drinker, that's really got to go. You know, this is an area where we have a lot of acne related to food. So they are related. It can also be stress. The back can also get some acne on it, which is a little harder to self-treat. So when you're treating your face, you'll often notice that acne on the back will go down because the nourishing category is really going to help us. That's really what I recommend with acne. I'm sure there are some questions about some of the other oils that I did not mention. Cedarwood is another one that I sometimes will try if I feel something under the skin. Have you ever had where you know something's brewing in your face? You feel breakout coming? Cedarwood is amazing at suppressing it. Incredible. So just put that on as you feel it, and it may actually just dissipate and never express, which is really wonderful. I love when that happens. So protect. Let's talk a little bit more about protect, because this is that final stage. We want to protect, let's say we did have a breakout. And you're sensitive, you don't want to put sunscreen on the breakout because you want the breakout to clear. If you're using the physical sunscreen, remember it's like a shield. So it's going to work really well. Now our other ones, often the ones you get, honestly, in your skin, your dermatologist's office, are filled with chemicals. And they will protect you from the sun, but they're going to cause other problems. They're not going to nourish. So you just want to ask your dermatologist, do you have a physical sunscreen? Or use the Coola that I recommend. It's a COOLO, okay? I definitely recommend protecting your skin from the sun, also with a hat. Now you want to get a wide brim hat, not just a baseball cap, because the baseball cap will cover this part of our face, not this part of our face. And remember when we talked about brown spots? Well, all of mine are mostly here, right? Because this part of the face often gets forgotten. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? No, I think we're good. I think that's about it. Oh, I want to talk about one more thing. I'm sorry. The HD Clear Topical. It has black cumin seed, hoewood, melaleuca, elixia, eucalyptus, and geranium. This is a very powerful blend. So for cystic type chronic acne, I do recommend starting there. Start slow, understand, and here I'm going to read to you a little bit about the mechanism of how it works. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antimicrobial, and it's also an antioxidant. So it increases the epidermal cellular maturation. That means that it increases our cell turnover. That's what we want. But it also suppresses the development of inflammatory remaining acne scars. This happens a lot for chronic acne. You all of a sudden might clear all the acne and still have some of those remaining spots. So the HD Clear prevents that from happening. That's, I think, the last thing I wanted to tell you, but I do want to share with you a little roller ball that you can make to apply in case that's your style. I personally don't usually do that. I like to work with the oils more individually per breakout and per situation. But I know that some of us like to, especially if you're in a chronic acne state, have something that you really like. So you're going to start off with 5 milliliters of fractionated coconut oil. This is for a 10 milliliter roller ball. And I will add this in the picture underneath me when we're done. But I'm just going to go through it with you. 10 drops of melaleuca, 10 drops of turmeric. Yes, now I haven't mentioned turmeric before. You can do pastes, you can do lots of things with turmeric on your face on its own. The reason why I like to recommend it in the roller ball is because it's a pretty intense scent. So when you're adding it with these other oils, it feels a lot better. 10 drops of frankincense. Remember, frankincense is so anti-inflammatory and so healing to our skin. 10 drops of geranium, 5 drops of copaiba. Also, copaiba is a wonderful one you can use. Sometimes I just use that at night. Why do I choose that over the other? Sometimes I work intuitively, and I really encourage you to. I can't say this is the reason why. It's just that copaiba is a little greasier, and I tend towards drier skin. And then 5 drops of rose. Okay, great little roller ball so that you can make that ahead of time so that you're prepared if indeed any kind of breakouts come, or if you are working through some chronic acne. Now I want to make myself available to you because I know that this is general, and if you have really chronic skin issues, especially in the breakout realm, and actually really in any, but today we're talking about breakouts, and I have a lot of compassion for when we have a lot of trouble on our face, right? Because it's just that hello world is on our face. Please reach out to me and we can schedule a consult, and I can help you really choose which products you want, which products you have to work with, and make sure you're developed a very clear protocol and that you stick with it, right? Sometimes we just need accountability. You can hop on here and hear me talk and think this sounds great and then not actually take action. So my challenge to you is, if you're here and you're in this summer of skincare, to ask questions, reach out to me. If you're not quite sure if you're doing things right, and you want a little feedback or accountability with the work you're doing, that's absolutely what I'm here for, and I'd love to help. So I hope that's helpful. Enjoy the day. Happy Tuesday. And also, make sure you check out the BOGO. We're doing a little giveaway on Corazon page. If you purchase the BOGO today, I'm throwing in a little extra giveaway of the yoga collection. I feel as if I haven't really given the yoga collection a good covering, and I keep that on my altar. I keep it on my desk. I use those oils all the time. So I need to bring them to you. So I'm excited to bring them through this raffle for you. So if you purchase the BOGO today, please absolutely take a screenshot of your order and post it under the image for that. All right, loves, have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time from our new home. Have a great day.